Hello there! I just wanted to record this video on the off chance that players are finding the new overworld boss a little difficult. For the purpose of this guide, I'll be talking about strategies associated with this boss using free characters that are available to everyone. To start off with, the Golden Wolflord is part of the Rift Stalker family, which means that when it hits you, it inflicts the bleed status. And while shields will save you from the damage it inflicts in the process of doing so, it will not prevent bleed and the subsequent damage it applies. For this reason, I encourage having a character with on-demand healing. Barbara is a good choice in this instance due to her panic button heal and her ranged attacks lending to her skill healing. Noelle can also provide healing, but due to the Golden Wolflord's mobility, it can be hard to consistently land strikes with melee attacks. However, Noelle does fulfill the geo requirements of this fight that we'll talk about later, so you can fit both of them on your team if you so choose. Now on to the components of the fight and team considerations. The opening of the fight, similarly to Magu Kenki and the Primo Geovishap, has a wind-up start. All damage during this period is severely reduced, and the Golden Wolflord won't take full damage until it fully emerges from its rift portal. During the opening stages, the Wolflord takes to the sky and moves around quite a bit. Characters such as Lisa or Amber are good additions to your team in order to deal damage during this stage. From my observation, the Wolflord does not possess a weak point, or it moves too much in order to hit said weak point, so I'd say to ensure that if you include Amber in your team, that she is stacked with an appropriate amount of crit rate. Lisa has an easier time hitting the Wolflord during this stage as many of her attacks home in on it. When the Wolflord reaches approximately half of its HP, it summons 3 wolf head shield generators at the edge of the arena. You'll need to deal geo damage to these in order to continue dealing damage to the boss, which makes it even more restrictive than the hypostasis bosses. If you've been keeping up with leveling your Traveler, they have access to the geo element fairly early on in the game, and it only takes about 2 strikes of their elemental skill to knock out one of the wolf heads. This is where Noelle might come in handy, as all of her normal attacks in her burst state deal geo damage. You'll need to ensure that she has her burst ready before the fight, or that you are switching to her anytime an energy particle comes your way. During this time, the Wolflord will be dealing AoE geo damage that you can spot in advance by paying attention to the yellow circles that cover the arena. You'll also need to look out for the spirit orbs that come your way as well. After the shield has been taken down, the Wolflord falls to the ground and gives you a very long damage window. This is the perfect time to lay in with your elemental bursts and capitalize on your biggest damage. So for anyone out there who's having trouble with this boss, I hope that this guide is helpful to you. I know the geo restriction makes it so that you don't have multiple options for approaching this boss, and you are required pretty much to carry a geo character, but I hope that this guide illustrates that it is still doable, even with starter characters. So I hope you find it helpful, and I hope to see you guys in the future. So until then, stay tuned.